when you combine leadership and Hindutva, it comes to Moditva. You want to respond, Nalin Kohli? Moditva,
Actually,
is this a vote for Moditva?
I'm going to combine what I wish to see on the leadership segment as also the subsequent thing, because I think it fits in well. First is, the way I look at the leadership thing, when you say 30% or close to that is outstanding and 44% is good, together the average is very good. It can't be middling or it can't bring it down in that sense, because you already have an average point and you also have
made that point earlier. Go ahead.
Okay. The second thing is, that also comes to the fundamental nature of it. Please compare, what do you compare with? The band to compare with is the preceding 10 years of the kind of leadership the government had. Now, whatever we may say of that leadership, people of India finally opted for change, and when in 14 they opted for that change, a decisive break from that kind of leadership from 4 to 14, they have reiterated that, which means they are voting conclusively for the leader who's coming there, the style of leadership that he brings, and the agenda with which he runs his government, that's why I call it the politics of performance. Now let's come to the...
Is it the politics of performance, or is it as some call it the politics of illusion? The fact is there is unemployment. The fact is, no, 1 minute. The fact is that there is also this illusion.
But when you make it, but Rajdeep, when you say it's an illusion, you make it seem as if everyone who voted for Narendra Modi is a fool, that he couldn't make up his own mind, that somehow he got made a Charlie of, and he got caught. How does that baffle the imagination?
I've said, I actually...
How can it be an illusion? How can so many people be fooled?
I have a different explanation. I said in my book, Mr. Modi is a cult figure. It's not just this is not normal politics. Normal politics, you will say, as we saw even in the COVID handling, despite all the sufferings people have gone through, they still have faith in Mr. Modi. It's almost a kind of religio-political cult that we have, and I wonder whether Nalin Kohli accepts that there are weaknesses like unemployment, despite that people have faith in Mr. Modi. Explain that to me.
Yes, I will, but you'll have to give me time and a patience here, without breaking that. First, let me come to the point that the politics of illusion is a heart. Even if I may use a mean way of looking at it. Because in a democracy as varied and evolved as India, where voters also make a choice between different parties for simultaneous elections. We've seen that, and so have you.
Sure.
Where the BJP has lost the state and won something else, the national, or won the state and lost the national. So that's an evolved democracy, and we must respect the voter. When we call it the politics of illusion, Rahul made that point, then we are demeaning the voter, which is not correct. The second, in terms of illusion, there is a difference between communication and illusion. Performance with communication is potent, or communication based on performance is potent. But communication without performance is a disaster. That would not apply to, respectfully, us, but certainly to the principal opposition party, which is constantly trying to communicate with nothing to perform in terms of performance. That's why their daily questions don't cut eyes.
Let's
come to the third. I want to finish this.
Yes.
14, you said, you and I have also discussed with your last book. You were kind enough to quote me that. And the next book. We met in Varanasi in 14, we met in Varanasi in 19. But if you call him a religious sort of cult figure, I would have a different way of looking at it. Narendra Modi is not just an icon. He's probably the most charismatic leader this country has seen in decades. He may end up being the most charismatic leader. I mean, you told me an example, not me. You were the one in the field who said, I went and asked a Dalit boy in hardcore, what you would say, a Mayawati constituency, about unemployment, etc. and all. Yet he said, I will vote for Modi. That was your point to me.
Yeah, because that voter said he had taught Pakistan a lesson at the time.
Yes, but he has faith in leadership for different reasons.
That's right.
Just as in the media, there's the principle, and which I mean, if you'll permit me to just say, that on a given, in a newspaper page, not everyone is with the story, involved in the story, not everyone is interested in the story. And so that means every page has something for someone who's involved in the story, someone who's interested in the story. Like that, voters have different reasons to vote. I think the success of Narendra Modi lies in the fact it's not just about communication. It's about communicating the achievements.
Okay, that's,
that's all of it.
Okay, but
And now let me come to unemployment. Unemployment, lest you say I'm running away from it. On unemployment, Yes, of course, it would be a concern. But then, can we also understand that this mood of the nation is at a time when there is the pandemic and when there is a contraction of the economy? Of course, this is that period, and it must reflect so, because that is not incorrect.
You know, that's exactly...
Is there a revival and hope? That's the hope of leadership, that there will be a revival.
That's the point, sir.
And my last point on the Congress,
Yes.
whether they like a 12,000 sample or they don't like a 12,000 sample, this kind of sample has also applied when the mood of the nation gave the thumbs up to the Congress party.